NBA All-Star selection. Figured why not show you who I'm voting for. So this was yesterday's voting. I will say I do rotate some players just because I feel like multiple players can deserve it. So yesterday we had Kevin Durant, Alperen Sengun, although that's apparently not how you pronounce his last name. The way you are, making no excuse, not a stupid reason. Jokic, Steph Curry, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In the East we have Giannis, Kat, Jalen Johnson. Shout out to Jalen Johnson. I think he's going way under the radar. I know he's not going to be a starter in the All-Star game, but I think he deserves some votes because his performances are going under the radar. So sometimes I just like to show some love here. Jalen Brunson and Cade Cunningham. Today, here are some switch-ups. Jokic is still on there, of course, because he's obviously going to get in. Victor Wembanyama, shout out to Victor. There's LeBron, I know. I didn't vote for LeBron because I don't think his play necessarily makes him an all-star starter this year. Incredible at 40 years old, but compared to some of the other players on this list, I'm not sure. As you can see, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are both on here again. I feel like Jokic, Durant, and Steph Curry are locks for me. Like, I'm going to vote for them pretty much every day. And then James Harden. I talked about James Harden in my All-Star predictions video. He is putting on a show for the Clippers. He definitely deserves some love. And again, he may not be a starter, but I do like to vote sometimes that way. You never know. My vote, hey, every vote counts, okay? My vote could change the perspective. Then in the East, we have Giannis. As you saw, he was there yesterday. He's going to get a vote every single day from me. The way that Karl Anthony Towns is playing, he's getting a vote from me every single day. I saw a MVP ranking the other day, and he was number 5. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, you know, actually, Kat is playing that well. Like, I just didn't think about it like, oh yeah, he could be a top MVP candidate. Jalen Johnson, again, I talked about him a minute ago. I may not vote for him tomorrow, but today I just felt like showing some more love to him and giving him another vote. Jalen Brunson again, and then LaMelo Ball, I talked about this. LaMelo Ball has a real chance to be an all-star starter. He's leading the way in the Eastern Conference for guard. He might be the only one in the Eastern Conference averaging 30. But LeBron, again, another reason I didn't vote for him is we know LeBron is going to get the most votes out of anybody. Steph Curry may be a close second. Maybe Steph will get more, but likely it's going to be LeBron as the most. Maybe even Giannis second, but we know LeBron is going to get a ton of votes. So he doesn't really need my vote. And I know I said every vote counts, but again, I don't necessarily think he should be a starter. So I might vote for him one of the days, like just because, but I'm just saying, I haven't voted for LeBron yet, but I know that's going to trigger some people. I also do try to take this, you know, somewhat seriously because these votes do count. Like, maybe my one vote doesn't matter for a Giannis or a Steph Curry because they are going to get so many votes. But again, like I talked about, for a Jalen Johnson, he's probably not going to start, but these votes that I'm, giving him add up because those type of players who are fighting for that type of spot, the margins are closer because you probably noticed Jason Tatum is not on here. I know Jason Tatum is going to get a ton of votes and he's most likely going to be an all-star starter and he definitely deserves to probably be a starter. Again, there are a lot of voting days, so I'll probably vote for Tatum one of these days. I'm just saying I don't necessarily feel obligated to vote for certain players every single day. You want to see something cool though? I found my all-star voting from like 2019. So look, this is who I voted for. Look, Anthony Davis was still in the Pelicans. Paul George was on OKC. Shout out to Giannis, he's still here. Kyrie on the Celtics. Look at Oladipo, shout out to him. And another day, you see, I always like to change it up. Luka, obviously. I didn't even vote for Luka yet either. Bogdanovich, look, Kelly Oubre. That was the year Kelly Oubre was going crazy on the Suns. Shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie. This one, I showed some love to Derrick Rose because he was killing it on the Timberwolves that year. Obviously, that was the Kevin Durant Warriors days. Look, Jokic is on here. Giannis, Kemba Walker, D. Wade. That was last year, I think. And then going through one more day of, the voting because I wanted to see or show you guys who is on the bottom of this voting one. You got Paul George again, you got Giannis, Kyrie, Kemba, Joel Embiid. Look, Kawhi. I was trying to find my votes from other years, but for some reason, only those 2 seasons were like popping up. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to switch it up. Like, I think tomorrow I'll give Jason Tatum a vote just because I was talking about him. I'll probably switch Cade out for somebody else. Maybe tomorrow, instead of Alperen Sengun, although I didn't vote for him today, but maybe tomorrow I'll put in LeBron, give LeBron a vote. Again, I try to take it somewhat seriously because although Paolo Banchero was going to be an all-star, I'm not going to vote for him because he's injured. And I know he's going to get a ton of votes just because Orlando Magic fans and because of how good he is. But I feel like that's there's no point in me voting for him because he literally can't have a spot because he's still hurt. That's what I mean when I say I take it somewhat seriously, because I'm not going to quote unquote waste a vote on Paolo when like I can give a vote to someone else who potentially could have a chance to actually make it. Maybe tomorrow I'll do Trae Young instead of Cade Cunningham because Trae Young has been cooking for the Atlanta Hawks. But my 4 or 5 definites are Giannis, Kat, KD, Jokic, and Steph. I don't think they're going to change any day that I vote because I feel like all 5 of those players 100% deserve to be starters and they will be starters.